Hi friends, Miss Cindy's back again with another fun story time for you. Today, I'm going to look at a song that I think some of you might know. This is a song we used to sing when I was a little girl, The Farmer in the Dell. And we would play a game where all our friends would stand in a circle and take turns going in the circle. Let's see if you can sing it with me. And then maybe you can always rewind your video and sing along the next time. The farmer in the dell. There he is. The farmer in the dell. The farmer in the dell. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the farmer in the dell. The farmer takes a wife. The farmer takes a wife. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the farmer takes a wife. The wife takes a child, the wife takes the child. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the wife takes the child. Oh, look! The child takes the nurse, the child takes the nurse. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the child takes the nurse. It's kind of like his babysitter. Here she goes. The nurse takes the dog. The nurse takes the dog. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the nurse takes the dog. What do you think the dog's going to take? Did you guess the cat? The dog takes the cat. The dog takes the cat. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the dog takes the cat. Who do you think the cat is going to take? The cat takes the rat. The cat takes the rat. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the cat takes the rat. How about the rats? What he gonna take? The rat takes the cheese. The rat takes the cheese. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the rat takes the cheese. Is that the end? No. Now, the cheese stands alone. The cheese stands alone. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the cheese stands alone. You might want to try singing that, learning some more of the words. We also have The Farmer in the Dell, illustrated by Alexandra Wallner at our library. You might like to take that book out. Why does the cheese stand alone? That's kind of silly, isn't it? Here's the rat, and he's asking, why is the cheese standing alone? This book is called The Cheese by Margie Palatini. Paintings by Steve Johnson and Lou Fancher. And published by HarperCollins. Here's the cheese. Ha ha ha. The Cheese by Margie Palatini. Rules and regulations. The cheese stands alone. The cheese stands alone. Hi-ho, the dairy-o, the cheese stands alone. The rat looked down in the dell and he shook his head. There's the cheese standing all alone. What a waste of a chunk of cheddar. He turned to go back into his hole, and then he stopped. He looked back at the cheese standing all alone in the middle of the meadow. So yellow, so mellow, so tasty. This is ridiculous. What's the point of a hunk of cheese being left out and all lonesome when it could be enjoying the company of a perfectly fine rat like me? No reason that he could think of. The rat licked his lips. He grabbed a napkin and he scurried down the hill for some dinner in the dell. Now, and just where do you think you're going? asked the cat, suddenly jumping down from a tree. Me? Answered the surprised rat. I'm just out for a short walk, a little stroll. You don't look like you're strolling, said the cat to the rat. You look like you're scurrying and sneaking. Huh? Scurrying and sneaking? Me? The rat sounded very insulted, and as he was quite a good actor, he almost convinced the cat that he was indeed just out for a walk. But the cat, who was very clever herself, caught sight of some clues. She noticed the napkin. Aha, she declared with a wave. And just what is this? The rat grumbled. Oh, if you must know, I'm going down to get the cheese. The cheese? Said the cat. You can't do that. Everyone knows the cheese stands alone. Huh, give me one good reason why the cheese stands alone. The cat thought. Well, it's the song, she said. Yes, it's most definitely the song. The song says, the cheese stands alone, and that's that. Well, I think it's a silly song, said the rat, taking back his napkin. And I'm going to eat that cheese. The cat looked at the rat. She looked down in the dell at the cheese. The cat could not argue that the song was silly. And as finicky an eater as she was, the cat did have a fondness for a nibble of cheese now and then. You know, I believe you may be correct. That cheese should not stand alone. The rat smiled and held out a paw. Care to join me for a bit of cheddar, my dear? So off went the two down into the dell, headed for the cheese. They were about to crawl under the fence when who should come running up but the dog. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? That dog was such a bother. Calm down and sit, said the cat. If you must know, we're going down to eat the cheese. The cheese, said the dog. The cheese is in the dell. The cheese is in the dell? But that cheese stands alone. Everyone knows that. Yeah. Stop your slobbering, muttered the rat. We know all about it. But why should good food go to waste just because of some silly song? The dog thought, which was not an easy thing for him to do. He looked across the dell at the cheese. It did look very lonely. And even the dog had to admit it was a silly song. You know, he said with a drool, I could go for a nosh right about now myself. So off went the rat, the cat, and the dog to eat the cheese. Hey, here, boy, here, boy. Come here, boy. Woof, 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 arf, woof, 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 arf, woof. That dog could never keep a secret. The child looked at the dog, and she looked down in the dell. Why, you aren't thinking of eating that cheese, are you? Naughty, naughty puppy. You know that cheese stands alone. The dog rolled over with a whimper and a whine. Oof, arf, arf, arf. The rat moaned. Oh, this is pitiful. I'll take care of this, said the cat. The cat walked up to the child and purred and arched and rubbed and meowed, and the child giggled. You know, that piece of cheese does look awfully yummy. And I haven't had my afternoon snack. How about you? So off went the child, the dog, the cat, and the rat to eat the cheese. Woof! Meow! Squeak! And then Mother called. Uh-oh. Shh, said the rat. Shh, said the cat. Shh, said the dog. I'm going to eat the cheese, called the child, who was completely unshushable. What a little blabbermouth, muttered the rat. No, you can't eat the cheese, said Mother. The cheese stands alone. Wait until your father comes home. So they all waited for the cow to come home with the farmer, who was the father, who was told by the mother that the child wanted to eat the cheese. The farmer in the Dell shook his head. Nope, can't eat the cheese. Cheese stands alone. Everyone knows that. The wife looked at the child, who looked at the dog, who looked at the cat, who looked at the rat, who looked at the cheese. It was very quiet until someone's tummy started to grumble. Gurgle, 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 gurgle. After a long day's work, the farmer's tummy grumbled the loudest. Well, I suppose that song is rather silly, he said, looking down in the Dell and staring at the large hunk of cheese. It truly is, said his wife. The farmer took off his hat. He scratched his head and said, what should we do? The rat elbowed the cat, who poked the dog, who nudged the child. Let's have a party! Woof! Meow! Squeak! So the farmer followed his wife, and his wife followed the child, and the child followed the dog, and the dog followed the cat, who followed the rat, who was already wearing his napkin, and went down into the Dell to eat the cheese. And then the farmer stopped. You know, he said, if we're going to have a party, we really should have some apples from the orchard to eat with the cheese. Delightful idea, said the wife. And I'll fetch a few pears. I'll get the crackers, added the child. The dog thought some sausages would be tasty as well, and the cat insisted on milk. So off went the farmer and his wife and the child and the dog and the cat to get some apples and pears and crackers and sausages and milk. Who's left? Everyone left the cheese alone except you know who. Take your time. I'll just stay here and hang out with the cheddar. What do you think? He's not going to eat it all before they come back, is he? Shame on you for what you were thinking. I may be a sneaky rat,
but I'm still one big party animal.
Did he wait for them all to come back?
Hi-ho, the Dario.
Silly rat. That's just a silly story. Maybe you feel like having a party now. You could have a little picnic with some fruit and cheese. Oh, I thought maybe it would be fun to make some cheese. If you can find a piece of yellow paper and a hole punch. Do you know what kind of cheese has holes? Swiss cheese. This is a really good thing to work on getting your little muscles in your fingers strong. We're just going to make some holes. Make it into Swiss cheese. You can fold it in the middle so you can get a hole somewhere else. Get lots of holes. And then look, I took my thumb. You can use some paint or a stamp pad. And I made my thumbprint. And then I took a marker and made little mouse nose and eyes and whiskers and of course ears and a tail. You might like to try that today. That could be lots of fun. Well, it's time for me to say goodbye. Are you ready to help me sing? See ya later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Give a hug, ladybug. Blow a kiss, jellyfish. See ya soon, you big raccoon. Out the door, dinosaur. Take care, polar bear. Wave goodbye, butterfly. See you next week. Bye-bye.